Welcome back to News Talk. The Washington Kastles have done it again. They have captured the King Trophy, named for the founder of World Team Tennis, Billie Jean King, the tennis legend, for the 5th consecutive year. The team from Washington, #1 in World Team Tennis. Joining us now, the owner of the club, Mark Ein, who has great reason to smile. World Team Tennis is a short season. It's compressed, but it brings together, as we like to say, and as we've said many times, some of the world's best players who, for a fairly accessible sum, a fan can go and see great tennis up close. And if you're lucky enough to live in Washington, the best team in World Team Tennis 5 years running.
Best team in World Team Tennis history. In our 40-year history of the league, no one's been able to win 5 straight championships the way this team has.
And 6 of 7.
And 6 of the last 7 years. And it really has been because this community has so embraced our team. And you go to our matches, we've had most matches fully sell out. You see every seat filled. And they come and they just support this team. And these players who play on the world's biggest stages, Martina Hingis won 2 Wimbledon titles right before she came over, are inspired to play truly harder and more emotional than they are even when they're playing at Wimbledon. And so this is a great thing for our community, and it's a wonderful thing to have been part of.
You beat a team in the finals that had beaten you in the regular year. Yeah. Were you nervous going into the finals?
Oh, yeah, I didn't think. I mean, you would have definitely called them the favorites. They had this woman they brought in towards the end of the season. I felt like a little like in Rocky with Apollo Creed. They brought in the Russian woman who was supposed to kill us, and she's fantastic. She's a rising star. She quartered at the French Open. She's 17 in the world. She had really led them to victory the week before. But there's something about this team and what happens on the biggest stage, the biggest moments, and especially in front of our fans, that they raise the level of intensity to something that people have seen everything in sports. It amazes them when they see that.
The season is short. It's timed in kind of a fun way because it's after Wimbledon and before the U.S. Open, and right on the eve of the local tournament here in D.C. But folks have got to understand that if they blink, they miss it. It's a short, compact, compressed season.
Yeah, I mean, the irony is it's for a sports league, it's as short a season as you're going to find. For a tennis event, it's actually the longest tennis event. It's 3 weeks. So even the Grand Slams are only 2 weeks, right? So in the tennis community, this is considered a really long stretch. And the fact that we have players like ours, like Leander Pace, who commits to do this for 3 weeks is unbelievable. Because, again, he can go win the U.S. Open in 2. He can win Wimbledon in 2. He's here for 3 weeks. But it does come and go fast, and people say, oh, how did I miss it? So hopefully they'll come back next year and check us out.
Over the years, I've so enjoyed watching Bobby Reynolds. He retired last year, and Sam Querrey has, I don't want to say fully stepped into the Bobby Reynolds role or void, but his height, his serve, his game, it's all there.
Well, he's amazing. I mean, Sam's 30 in the world. He's the #2 American he's the #2 ranked American player. He's unbelievable. He played Roger Federer at Wimbledon. I mean, it's great. And, you know, Sam did the second half of the season. I mean, Dennis Kudlow, a local kid who had been a Kastles fan growing up, who said, I want to play on this team. And he played the first week. And at the end of the season, Sam said, I got to do this all 3 weeks. He said, this is the most fun I've ever had on the tennis court. And that's, to me, I get chills thinking about it because all of these players say the same thing. They say everything we do in our lives, every stage we're on, this is what we enjoy the most.
I remember the early years of World Team Tennis back in the 70s. Yeah. I don't think there were many people then who thought that Billie Jean and the owners and the teams and the players and the fans would be celebrating 40. It's a fairly significant milestone.
Yeah, it is. There's very few sports leagues who've been able to do that, and there's a lot of things that have come and gone. And it's a real tribute to Billie. It's also a tribute to the core product is so good. You know, men and women, singles, doubles, cheer for your home team. Come at 7 o'clock. It's over at 9:30 as opposed to a normal tournament where you come at 4. And last night it ended at 2:30 in the morning. And I love regular tournaments, but this is a variation that appeals to a lot of people, and I think that's why it's lasted so long.
The league has contracted a bit. The New York team went away, and another team moved. I guess it's good that they were able to find a new owner and relocate. But at 7 teams, it feels like less than it should be. Apparently, there's not a Mark Ein in every city, or if there is, they haven't found that person yet or that group. It feels like you need to be back in New York, and it would be great to see the league grow to 10 or 12 teams.
100%. That's exactly where we need to go, and I think you're going to see some things in the off season that I'm part of working on that I think we need to address that, because you're right. We should be in New York. I had a meeting last 2 days with people in L.A. I think the key is finding the right owners. You have to find the right owners. Actually, we have brought in a couple great owners, like the guy in Austin is really passionate, committed. I mean, that final, 8 of the 9 players were top 50 in the world. 5 were top 25 in the world. So it's the best players in the world. And we just need more owners like that. And I think you're going to see the league really step up to a new level here in the next year or two.
Do players talk to one another about World Team Tennis? I mean, do players who were in talk to players who aren't? And is that part of how you recruit the headliners, the marquee names?
Totally, and that's one reason we've had success, because word of mouth. Everyone says, if I'm going to play World Team Tennis, I want to play and watch. They've all heard. And it's obviously what happens in the court and what happens in the stadium, but I also feel like they know that people in Washington will stop them on the street and cheer for them. They have Kastles fans wherever they go around the world cheering them on. And we just try to treat them well and have a great experience. They tell their friends on tour, and we get lots and lots and lots of calls of people who want to come play for Washington.
Coach Murphy Jensen has been part of this the whole way. Talk about what he brings.
He really is the glue. You know, I think the real secret to our success is the culture, and I've been involved in lots and lots of really successful organizations. But to me, this is the most special thing I've ever seen. Just the culture that's been built, and how the whole is bigger than the sum of the parts. The individuals collectively are much bigger than they are individually. And he really is that glue. He is deadly serious when it comes to preparation and intensity, both in practice and on the court. But it's an intense 3-week season. At the same time, he knows how to keep it light and keep people working well together over that time period. And so he really is that glue, that thread that keeps the DNA going year after year.
Would you like to buy a football team?
I no comment on that, but
when I think of the misery the region's been through, and then I look at your gaudy shelf of trophies, I'm thinking, wait a second.
You know, I think, you know, passion in these things, and I just think, you know, all these things where you really reward the community and the fans, it pays off, you know, and that's sort of our thing. When I look around, I love the results we've had on the court, but what I love more is looking around the stands and seeing so many people. I love seeing the kids leave with the free rackets they get.
Yeah. Mark Ein, congratulations.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
We're back with the program note right after this.